Hey y'all! Today I decided to have you join me on my workout this morning. I'm going to be starting a new series on Facebook Live that's going to end up going into my YouTube channel that deals with different ways to modify different exercises. When we decide we want to work out, whether it's at the gym or at home, or if a certain workout move is infused into a class, everybody is always at a different level. You could be a beginner, you could be like, I have no strength at all in my whatever, or you could be like, well, the regular version is too hard, but like the other version is too easy. Like, there's so many ways to modify different things that I'm going to be taking a lot of our most common exercises that we tend to see or tend to stumble upon, like in a home workout video or something, and show you a bunch of different ways on how to modify it and how to find the right modification for you and what to look for so that you know that you're doing the right thing for your experience level, for your strength. So I wanted to start today by getting probably one of the worst ones out of the way, the dreaded push-up. Like, I feel like the majority of the American population probably could never even do one in their life. And I hear even like in gym programs, they just don't even make you do that anymore at school, you know, when we have the most strength, I guess, if we're not really athletic past the age of 18, okay? But then again, we see it all the time in workout videos, and they expect us to be able to go along and do those, you know, like, so what gives, right? So let's tackle this one head on. Okay, so I'm sure you probably can think of a couple of modifications right off the bat. The wall push-up and the knees push-up. We are going to cover these plus a couple of others. So now, I'm going to apologize a little bit in advance. This video is going to be a little funny because I'm going to be like taking you around my basement workout studio. So I guess without further ado, let's go over to the only exposed wall area that I have, which is right next to my treadmill. Okay. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so the wall push-ups. So things to actually look out for. Let me just have you watch my hands here. Yeah, I got a window right there. So, okay. So pay attention to how your wrists feel. That's actually really, really important. We put a lot of pressure on our wrists simply because we're on computer keyboards and we are on our phones all the time. So we use our hands and our wrists a lot. So pay attention to how they feel and different ways that I'm going to be presenting to you that you can alleviate some of the pressure on your wrist, at least until you build up enough upper body strength that you can kind of like diffuse that. I used to be a chronic sufferer of tendonitis. I had it in both of my wrists all the way up to my elbows from about middle school on, just simply because of piano playing. I don't know if anybody in high school here is seeing this, but I used to like wear wrist braces like all the time for a couple of years in high school. That's gone away completely, actually, and since I have built up enough strength in my upper body, like, that pain has gone away. So just please know, take away from this, that by reconditioning your upper body strength kind of as a whole, you can actually make that wrist pain from these exercises go away in time, okay? Alright, but we gotta treat ourselves right? So, for right now, I'll do hands on the wall, and I got my ankles, my feet down, like feet flat, okay? I'm not coming up on my toes, coming right down on my heels, and I'm just going to look ahead and bend my elbows straight down as if I'm going to make my elbows flat against the wall. I'm not, but like it's going in that direction, okay? You also can do the diamond push-up. I like the diamond push-up. The diamond push-up kind of looks like that. See it? Okay? Making like a Christmas tree shape with my fingers. I don't actually touch them though. It's just in that shape. And then your elbows kind of come out. I find that this actually puts a little less stress on your hands and wrists, but at the same time you're able to, you know, you can still feel it in your upper body area, like all the way across here, just like you're supposed to. Okay, so that's the wall push-up. Okay, I'm going to take you along with me. We're going to go to a different area here. Okay, and now I'm going to show you my water tank and furnace. No, actually I'm going to show you my cocktail table, which is actually a wine barrel. And on it, I have some yoga blocks. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is an inclined push-up. Alright? So I'm going to put these aside for right now. If you notice, there's a lip on this. Okay? I'm creating a way so that my wrists are not down straight like this, okay? We're trying to, if you have this issue and that's what's kind of put you off from doing push-ups in the first place, this is what you want to try to reduce, okay? That's, I took a lot of yoga in college and I could do the postures, just my wrists, oh my gosh, especially with all that piano playing. But I found that if I brought my hand up a lot, kind of like into that kind of position, it really worked out well. Okay, so this inclined push-up, you can see my elbows are coming out to the sides, or they can come down, okay? And you can see from my feet here, oh, there we go, that's a really good angle, okay? My heels are down, that I am at this kind of incline. And personally for me, this one's too easy, but this one could be perfect for anybody else, okay? I have the yoga blocks here because, well, what if we did something kind of like this? Now, gotta watch out because we don't want it to slide, you know. We don't want to make things too crazy. Okay? So something to take that pressure off the wrists. Alright, next thing. I have a TRX strap here, but I was thinking about like the push-up like exercise I do after that. It's more of a chest press, so I'm not going to actually include that in this video. But instead, I'm going to show you, oh yay, pull, but no, that's way too hard for what we're doing here. Actually, no, more of like this folding chair. This is probably the one that I recommend the most because it's like not an easy incline, but it's not a really ridiculous incline, like flat. Let's see here. Okay, so you saw the chair. Now, check this out. My hands are going to grip the edge of the chair so that they are not flat. Way less pressure. See the difference here? With this, okay? Alright, I'm going to actually push this back a little bit so you can see. My TRX straps are getting in the way. My setup works for me, not always for video. Okay. And there we go. This one feels really good. Okay, notice how straight my back is. Okay, and now I'm going to reposition. Do one of these or diamond. Okay. What about these yoga blocks here? Be careful because certain surfaces slide. So I'm just going to try it out to see. But like, if you notice your yoga block is doing this, I wouldn't recommend propping it up on that inclined surface. Alright, next, I'm going to move over to the floor. Alright. So, I'm sure you're aware that knee push-ups are sometimes a really good idea. Okay? I have weights here because weights are a really good idea for keeping those fingers bent, again, to take pressure off your wrists. Okay, but there's a couple things I want to tell you about knee push-ups. They are not for everybody, okay? They sometimes can put you at a really strange angle, and sometimes the incline is actually a little bit better. But what if you have bad knees? You know, I mean, there's a couple ways to do this, and one of them could be possibly really, really bad for your knees if you suffer from knee pain. What I recommend there is to get like a folded up towel or a partially folded up yoga mat. Like I would not roll the entire yoga mat and put your knees on top of it. Maybe I'd fold it like 2 or 3 times. Maybe 2 times, that would probably be good. Try that. Now this right here, this is a foam floor, so I think if I was on that concrete across the room there, I would not be able to do this at all. But on the foam floor, which I notice now they're starting to sell at Walmart, it's actually not too bad on the knees. So, 2 different ways to do knee push-ups would be by keeping your feet down and flat. Okay, watch this. Okay? That is not too bad. That is not bad at all. I like the diamond push-ups from this angle. And this doesn't really have a whole lot of pressure on your knees. Now, here's the one that does, but this is actually my favorite push-up modification. I can do push-ups, I just can't do too many of them in a row quite yet. But this modification is like, I feel like is my next step down. So, this would be like where your feet come up. And it's more of like a rocking motion, okay? And I can do like a couple full sets of them. So, and then you can also use the weights for it as well. Kind of playing around with hand position so that you can get whichever elbow bending you want. I actually don't like this one as much. It feels weird on my shoulders. But I'm sure I could tweak it. You know, there's a bunch of different options that you have, different spacing. Now, what I was taught is that you're supposed to have it like kind of either closer in towards you so that your elbows come in, but there's so many modifications for that too that can't possibly be the only right one. Feel free to disagree if you want, but like, I'm reading a bunch of different stuff on that. The way I see it is when you're deciding on hand placement, on what's going to work best for your push-up modification, listen to your body. You saw me try one out just now that was like, ooh, that feels funny on my shoulder. I didn't like how it was pressing up on my rotator cuff, like my bending, okay? And I was like, nope, not going to do that one. I wasn't going to give it a full set. I was going to give it that one and be like, no, that's pressure on my joints. That's not fatigue. I'm not going to do that one. Why? Because we're all a little bit different. So you need to make sure that you're listening to yourself so that you are making the correct judgment call for that exercise. You don't want injury. And one of the best ways to reduce injury in the workout space is to just listen to yourself. Okay? And then, of course, after an amount of time, you should be able to progress your way up to the regular push-up. But if you're starting to do one of these, or things are starting to sink, it may not be time yet, especially if you've gotten past one and that's already starting to happen. No way. Go to the modification. Go to the modification because that's going to be a better exercise for you. It's going to be a better exercise for you to keep your form so that you are conditioning those big muscle groups that you're supposed to be in the way that you're supposed to, while also reducing the risk of injury, or we'll call it set failure. It's where you're like, okay, I want to do this many, but I can't possibly get there because they're push-ups, they're too hard. No way. If you modify it, you'll be able to get to that set. And you'll be able to get to that set while maintaining form. It's so important to reduce injury. I can't even express it enough, okay? But if your push-up is looking like this the whole way, yes, hi, and you have kitties walking under you because that's what happens. So you can see that I'm not even going down that far. Why am I not going down that far? Because it doesn't feel right yet, okay? I'll do a few push-ups every now and again, but I'm only going to go down as far as my joints allow it. Fatigue feels like something else. Fatigue is okay. Joint pressure is not. Don't push it. Okay? So I'm hoping that really helped you out a little bit about alleviating the disgust around the common push-up, because there's a lot of ways to change it and to make it work for you. Remember, everybody's different. Everybody's got to handle this the way that's best for you. And you can still get the benefits, the strengthening of benefits out of a push-up, as long as you're still doing it, again, in a way that's good for you. Okay? Any questions? Give me a holler. Thank you.